Hey guys, welcome. This is dnariuslewis with Motivated Mentors, dnariuslewis.com, training and building entrepreneurs for success. What I'm going to talk about today is the protests in Minneapolis, Minnesota, April 29th, 2015 for the Black Lives Matter protest and All Lives Matter protest. And I say all lives matter because they do. But sometimes, when you say Black Lives Matter, you don't, put it the All Lives Matter. People get upset and get, they share their opinions. But common sense tells us that obviously all lives matter. But at the rate that people are dying, it's unfortunate in the African American community. Now, I went to that protest because I'm a big firm believer of all lives matter. That's just who I am. But I went to that protest to see, there were some things I don't know about my community. There are some things that I don't know about what people are protesting for. So I went to that event and I highly recommended it. Going there, I learned so much. There was so much positivity. I showed up and there were actually more Caucasian people at the rally. And it took me, I had to fight through crowds of, Caucasian people to even see the black people who were protesting, who were, running the event. But it was such a powerful event that I attended. I mean, it was peaceful. I mean, it was a part of history, truly. I was dead as front center. I was right behind the Black Lives Matter. I actually had an interview with Star Tribune as well. And I saw a lot of people around my community, a lot of people from Minneapolis I knew. People from Burnsville, Minnesota. I actually saw a couple of my friends' brothers, kids who graduated 2007. Shout out to Jake Bean. Had a great conversation with him. But it was a very fun experience. A lot of people go there. A lot of people on social media are hiding behind, what they think they know and what they believe in. But I mean, I'm on no sides. Obviously, I'm African American. I value my life. I'm just on the side of, and for the justice that needs to be brought out in regards of, the police brutality, the system that's set up for African-American men, all these other things that, I grew up, putting aside. I grew up in an all Caucasian, and a majority of Caucasian surrounding. I lived in the suburbs of Minnesota. I've been to my diverse schools, but I've also been the only African-American in the room at a lot of occasions. Being a business owner in the Chambers of Commerce in St. Cloud, I mean, I go to these networking events, and it's truly, I am the only person of color in the room, and the youngest too. I'm a 21-year-old man around, adults who are all Caucasian, all business owners. I'm the only person in the room that adds color to the room. So I've seen the looks I've got, not saying that people in St. Cloud or whatever it may be are giving me those looks, but I've been in the room getting those looks of who is this kid and, all those other things. I've been in Iowa and being, a person of color in Iowa, in the smallest town, in Alden County, Iowa. I've been around to these I've witnessed my prejudice and racism, but I'd never acknowledge it because, again, you can believe what you want to believe. I could care less of what your beliefs are. I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to, get offended by it. We all have our opinions. We all have our own beliefs. But me being a part of that Black Lives Matter protest in Minneapolis shined light on a lot of things that I don't know about what's happening in our economy. I mean, a lot of people say, they want to say all lives matter and Black lives stuff is ignorant, but it's just that what you don't know is, for what you don't know about what people are really preaching about with Black Lives Matter is the ignorant, is it ignorant coming out of you what you don't know yet. I mean, I said the same thing that, Black lives, that's dumb because all lives matter. But I got there and sat up and, sat front and saw what people are preaching for and what they're marching for and why, the community of Minnesota come together and preach for equality for all races was powerful. Babies, kids who can't even walk were there. It was a sight to see, and I was happy to say that I was front row to see it. I can look back and show my kids that I was a part of a movement for our race and for our country, and for for equality for all types of people. I mean, I spoke for Somali community. I spoke for the Muslim community, African American. I speak for anyone that has something they believe in. And obviously, there's a lot of injustice around the world, not just for the African American community. There's people, you know, there's a war happening in St. Cloud, Minnesota, with the Muslim community. I mean, there was an anti, you know, rally for Somali and Muslim people in St. Cloud, Minnesota, in the summer of 2014 that no one spoke about. I mean, that was a big ordeal that was happening at the time, and I was appalled that you know, there was an anti-Muslim and Somali community, you know, rally happening in Minnesota of all places, when we're such a diverse state and such a powerful economy. We have such a powerful economy for, you know, the U.S. But being a part of the Black Lives Matter movement was very fun, very, you know, it was very uplifting. I mean, obviously, I posted my videos and my photos of the powerful statements that were said at that event. It really shined light on stuff that I didn't know. I typically do hang out with a lot of Caucasian people. I'm always the token black guy at every party that I do attend. That's just how it's always been for me. People who know me, I make a lot of, you know, black jokes. Because to me, racism is a joke. I mean, I can be a comedian any day in regards of all the stupid, you know, racist jokes I do make. Because racism to me is a joke, and I always say it in a jokingly way. But people just need to, you know, there's a lot of, I have about 2,600 Facebook friends. I follow about 8,000 people on Twitter. I have about 21,000 followers on Twitter. I see so much stuff throughout my social media, and that's a reminder, I don't watch TV. I don't care to watch TV. I don't have a TV. My TV is always through my smartphone, and I see all the negative comments from the people that are on my feed of just all these different bitter, angry posts. And I refuse to, you know, dwell into the angry posts that people put out there. I mean, I can be just as angry about, you know, black guys, you know, black people losing their lives and all this other stuff. I can make comparisons with, you know, Dinkytown's riots of kids losing football games. You know, St. Cloud State had a hockey game they lost against the Gophers, and people were rioting. I can make that comparison, but I choose not to, because, I mean, I'm not helping the cause. Me comparing, I know, the Caucasian kids rioting in Kentucky because they lost their first basketball game, compared to people in Baltimore rioting because of the, you know, the injustices that are happening to their community, and, you know, the poverty that, you know, all this other stuff. I can come up with reasons to, you know, compare and contrast the two, but I'm not going to compare violence and say violence is the answer to anything. Violence is not the answer to anything, unless it's a spider. I will never say, hey, cause violence, cause anything harm to anything else. I mean, if it's a spider, that's a whole different story. People know my stories of spiders. But again, I just want to shine a light on my personal view, and people can, you know, at my Snapchat, I have, you know, my Snapchat story is at 500 seconds long. I have, you know, videos from the start of it to the end of it. I'll leave my Snapchat name at the below as well. You can add me on Snapchat. You could see the whole show of what was there, and it was just fun to be a part of. Again, this is Denarius Lewis with Motivated Mentors, dnariuslewis.com, training and building entrepreneurs for success. Leave a comment below in regards to what you know, any comments you want. I mean, I'll respond to it if it's positive, if it's negative. To someone will respond to that. I don't have to leave it. I don't have to respond to the negativity. Someone else will. Again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned.